Hi, for this video what we're going to do is we're going to solve an equation with variables on both sides. When you're solving an equation with variables on both sides, the first thing that you want to look at is can you simplify either side? And in this case we can't because there are no like terms on either the left or the right. So what we want to do is we want to look to see which of our variable terms are smaller. And so that's the one I typically tend to move. And since negative y is smaller than positive 5, I'm going to move this by doing the opposite. So the opposite of subtracting y is adding y. Our goal is to get our variable to cancel out on one side so that we only have a variable on the one side instead of both sides. So when I do that, I'm left with 6y plus 6 equals negative 18. I could have just as easily moved the 5y over there, but then I would have had a negative, and sometimes with negatives I find that students tend to make more mistakes. So our next step in getting y by itself, remember our goal is to get this by itself, is to move any subtraction or any addition or subtraction terms. So I'm going to move the 6 by subtracting it from both sides. So I would be left with 6y equals negative 24. And then the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So last step would be to divide both sides by 6. And y ends up being negative 4. So this is my final answer after I have moved all of my variables. It is very important to check your work because a lot of times, especially the more complicated the equation, the more likely you are to make a mistake. So it's always good to check your work to make sure that your answer makes sense. So all you have to do is replace y with the negative 4 and see if it gives you a true statement. So if we simplify our values, 5 times negative 4 would be negative 20. And negative 20 plus 6 would give me negative 14 on the left. And then if I check the other side, I would have negative 18 plus 4, which is also negative 14, so we can see that this truly does work. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are other topics you need me to cover, let me know that as well.